So today we're speaking about how quality of performance contributes to the success or failure of each business. But before we can look at success or failure factors, we need to look at a few things. And it's important at this stage to know what exactly the business functions are, because we will always speak about quality in connection to business functions. So, as you know, the 8 business functions are general management, finance, purchasing, production function, public relations, administration, human resource function, and marketing. And so when we look at these functions, it's important to know what each function is about. And so when you don't remember, just remember that each function gives you a clue. And so, for example, general management has always got to do with managing the overall business. And so in this function, we deal largely with strategic planning. We deal with different levels of management and what the different levels of management does in order to direct employees. And so we would then be working with planning. We would lead them, we would organize and control. There are other factors that would also come into play here, and these would be of effective communication. Managers would need to take decisions, some of them will delegate, and we will coordinate workers. In the finance function, we deal largely with the monies in the business. And so the finance department will determine the needs for funds. In other words, what must be done in the business and how much money is required, because each of the business functions will need money. The marketing department would want to run advertising campaigns, so they would have to prepare budgets and submit these budgets to finance so that finance knows exactly how much money is needed by the marketing department, for example. The finance department is also then responsible for acquiring these funds. In the purchasing function, we deal specifically with the acquisition of raw materials. We need to buy the right material, good quality material. We need to ensure that we buy it at the right time, we have it at the right place, and that we buy it for the right price. All of this is important because it informs and works hand in hand with the production function. If we don't have the necessary resources, then we can't produce good quality products for sale. Our production function is the function where we convert these raw materials into finished products. And we work according to a predetermined standard at this point. With our public relations function, we want to ensure that the business has a positive business image. So we'll do everything in our power to ensure that we promote our business. The administrative function is about acquiring, collecting and processing information. Now this function is a very important function because this function allows all managers to make timeliest decisions and to make the correct decisions with the information that is provided to them by managers from all of the other departments. This function is also responsible for sharing and the safekeeping of information. It's important that confidential information is kept confidential, so they will ensure that when technology is used, and we all use computers these days in business, that certain passwords are put in place so that not anybody can just access very confidential information. Human resource function is about the process of recruiting and selecting the most appropriate and suitable candidates to do a specific job. It is very important to find the most suitable candidate because that person has to perform a specific job, and in this function selecting and the placement of the candidate as well as the induction of the candidate will lead to good and effective utilization of human capital within the business. The marketing function brings to the attention of the public the products and services that the business offers. This function is very important because this is where the general public becomes aware of product offerings or services that businesses have. So just to recap, these functions all work together, they work simultaneously within the business. You're not going to walk into a business and find them happening in isolation. So these functions are important and it's key that all of them work together.